Our conventional understanding of time is largely rooted in a linear framework. We measure it in seconds, minutes, hours, days, and years. This perception creates a sense of continuity, a narrative of existence that flows from the cradle to the grave. It gives structure to our lives, providing a framework within which we can organize our experiences and make sense of the world around us. We schedule our days, plan for the future, and reflect on the past, all within this linear construct. But let's pause and reflect on this for a moment. What is this linear time? It is an idea, a concept we have created to navigate our reality. It's a useful tool, no doubt, but it is not the ultimate truth. It's a map, not the territory. The real nature of time is far more fluid and dynamic. We might look at it and think that the water is moving from one point to another. However, if we dive deeper, we realize that the water itself is in constant flux, and the idea of it moving from point A to point B is merely our way of making sense of the movement. Similarly, time is not a line but a flow, an ever-present now that we experience in myriad ways. Our perception of time as linear is deeply ingrained in us from a young age. We are taught to view our lives as a timeline with a beginning, a middle, and an end. This perspective shapes how we think about our existence, how we make decisions, and how we relate to the world. We become time-bound creatures, always looking forward or backward, rarely fully present in the moment. Consider for a moment that past and future are mere abstractions. The past is a collection of memories, a record of moments that no longer exist. The future is a realm of possibilities, yet to be realized. What truly exists is the present moment, the eternal now. This now is the point of contact between our consciousness and the unfolding universe. Think of a whirlpool in a stream. The form of the whirlpool appears stable, but the water within it is constantly changing. Our lives are like this whirlpool, with each moment bringing new experiences, thoughts, and emotions. The whirlpool remains, but the water is ever changing, just as the now is the constant presence within the flow of time. When we fully grasp this, we realize that living in the past or the future is to live in illusion. The past is gone, and the future has not yet come. The only reality is the present moment, the eternal now. This is where life happens, where we experience the richness of existence. When we are truly present, we become aware of the profound beauty and depth of each moment. Our minds are often obsessed with time. We worry about the future, regret the past, and rarely give full attention to the present. This obsession creates a constant state of tension and anxiety. We are always rushing, always striving, always trying to get somewhere else. But where are we really going? What are we trying to achieve? This relentless pursuit of the future, or clinging to the past, prevents us from experiencing the fullness of life. We become trapped in a cycle of stress and dissatisfaction, always chasing after an elusive goal. But the secret to true happiness and fulfillment lies not in the future or the past, but in the present moment. When we let go of our attachment to time, we find peace and contentment in the here and now. The power of now is a concept that has been explored by many spiritual teachers throughout history. It is the recognition that the present moment is all we ever have. It is the only place where life truly happens. By embracing the now, we free ourselves from the tyranny of time and open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of the present. In the now, we find clarity and stillness. We become fully aware of our thoughts, emotions, and sensations. We connect with our true essence, the timeless presence that underlies all existence. This awareness brings a sense of peace and joy that transcends the ups and downs of life. It is a state of being that is not dependent on external circumstances, but arises from within. The more we try to control time, the more it slips through our fingers. We become frustrated and stressed, always feeling that there is never enough time. But this is because we are trying to control something that is beyond our grasp. Time is not a commodity to be managed, but a flow to be experienced. By letting go of the need to control time, we open ourselves to the natural rhythm of life. We learn to flow with the currents, trusting that everything unfolds in its own perfect timing. This surrender brings a sense of freedom and ease, allowing us to fully engage with the present moment. The present moment, the now, is the only point of time that truly exists. Past and future are abstractions. The past is a memory trace, and the future is a projection of possibilities. The only reality is the present moment, the eternal now. This is where life happens, where we experience the richness and depth of existence. Everything you have ever experienced has occurred in the present moment. Every sensation, every thought, every emotion, all have ever arisen in the now. Even when you recall a memory or imagine a future event, you do so in the present. The past and future are mental constructs that we bring into the now through our thoughts and imagination. The essence of the present moment is that it is always fresh and new. It is not constrained by the past or future. Each moment is a unique expression of life filled with infinite potential. When we are fully present, we tap into this potential and experience the vibrancy and aliveness of existence. To understand the eternal present, we must explore the nature of awareness. Awareness is the backdrop against which all experiences arise. It is the silent witness, the unchanging presence that observes the flow of thoughts, emotions, and sensations. It is not bound by the past or future, but exists eternally in the now. When we identify with our thoughts and emotions, we become caught in the illusion of time. We believe that we are the stories we tell ourselves, the narratives of past experiences and future aspirations. But when we shift our attention to awareness itself, we realize that we are not our thoughts or emotions. We are the timeless presence that observes them. This realization is transformative. It frees us from the constraints of time and allows us to experience life from a deeper, more expansive perspective. We see that the present moment is the stage on which the drama of life unfolds, but we are not the characters in the play. We are the audience, the silent witness that observes the unfolding drama with equanimity and compassion. Living in the present moment is not merely a philosophical concept, but a practical way of being. It requires a shift in our awareness and a commitment to being fully present in each moment. This practice of presence involves several key elements. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing our full attention to the present moment. It involves observing our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment or attachment. By cultivating mindfulness, we become more aware of the present moment and less caught up in the past and future. Acceptance is the willingness to embrace the present moment as it is, without resistance or judgment. This does not mean passivity or resignation, but a deep recognition that the present moment is the only reality. When we accept the now, we align ourselves with the flow of life and open ourselves to its infinite possibilities. Living in the present moment has a profound impact on our lives. It transforms our experience of reality and brings a sense of peace, joy, and fulfillment. When we are fully present, we become more attuned to the subtle nuances of life. We notice the beauty of a flower, the warmth of the sun, the sound of the wind. We become more connected to the world around us and more responsive to its needs. The practice of presence also transforms our relationships. When we are fully present with others, we listen more deeply and respond more authentically. We become more compassionate and empathetic, more attuned to the needs and feelings of others. Our relationships become richer and more fulfilling, based on genuine connection and mutual respect. One of the main challenges is the tendency to identify with our thoughts and emotions. When we believe that we are our thoughts and emotions, we become entangled in the stories we tell ourselves. We become reactive and defensive, caught in the cycle of judgment and resistance. To overcome this challenge, we must develop the skill of witnessing. The witnessing involves observing our thoughts and emotions without identification. It means recognizing that we are not our thoughts and emotions, but the awareness that observes them. This shift in perspective allows us to disengage from the mental chatter and remain centered in the present moment. Another challenge is the tendency to seek happiness and fulfillment in external circumstances. We believe that if we can just achieve this goal or acquire that possession, we will be happy. But true happiness and fulfillment are found not in the future, but in the present moment. By letting go of our attachment to external outcomes and embracing the now, we discover a deeper sense of contentment and joy. Have you ever stopped to ponder the nature of time? It's one of those things we often take for granted, yet it shapes every aspect of our lives. But what is time really? Is it a linear progression from past to present to future as we commonly perceive it? Or is there something more profound at play? Let's start by considering the illusion of linear time. We often think of time as a straight line, moving inexorably forward. We remember the past, experience the present, and anticipate the future. But is this how time truly works? According to Eastern philosophies, time is not a linear progression, but rather a series of interconnected moments, all existing simultaneously. Just as the front of a coin implies the existence of the back, the present moment implies the existence of past and future moments. They are all interconnected, forming a seamless whole. Imagine a river flowing. From our perspective, we see the water moving past us from upstream to downstream. We perceive this flow as the passage of time. But if we were to rise above the river and look down, we would see that all points of the river exist simultaneously. The past, present, and future of the river are all there at once, interconnected and inseparable. This analogy helps us understand the illusion of linear time. We perceive time as a flow because of our limited perspective, but in reality, all moments exist simultaneously. The past is not truly past, and the future has not yet come. Everything that has ever happened or will ever happen is contained within the eternal now. To illustrate this point further, let's consider the concept of memory. When we remember something from the past, we are not actually revisiting that moment in time. Instead, we are accessing a memory, a mental construct that exists in the present moment. The past only exists in our memories, which are constantly being reshaped and reinterpreted. Similarly, when we imagine the future, we are not seeing a glimpse of what will be. We are creating a projection based on our current beliefs, desires, and expectations. The future, like the past, exists only in our minds. This interconnected view of time has profound implications for how we perceive our lives. Instead of seeing our past as a linear progression of events leading to this moment, and our future as a linear projection of what will be, we can see that all moments are equally real and equally valid. This perspective invites us to let go of regrets about the past and anxieties about the future. If all moments exist simultaneously, then every moment is an opportunity to make new choices and create a new reality. We are not bound by our past or predetermined by our future. We are free to choose in every moment, shaping our reality as we go. To understand the nature of time, we must consider the concept of yin and yang. In Chinese philosophy, yin and yang are complementary forces that interact to form a dynamic system of balance and harmony. Yin represents the passive, receptive, and feminine aspects of nature, while yang represents the active, assertive, and masculine aspects. When applied to time, yin and yang help us see that time is not just a linear progression, but a dance between opposites. Just as light cannot exist without darkness or sound without silence, time cannot exist without its opposite. We often fear the passage of time, worrying about what the future holds or regretting the past. But just as there can be no up without down or left without right, there can be no future without past. They are two sides of the same coin, inseparable and interconnected. Think of a pendulum swinging back and forth. Each swing from left to right represents a moment in time, but the movement is only possible because of the opposing forces of gravity and momentum. In the same way, the passage of time is only possible because of the interplay between past and future, yin and yang. The concept of yin and yang teaches us that opposites are not in opposition but in harmony. They are two parts of a whole, each dependent on the other for balance. Just as a tree cannot grow without both roots and branches, time cannot unfold without both past and future. This perspective invites us to see time not as a linear progression, but as a dynamic interplay of opposites. Instead of fearing the passage of time, we can embrace it as a natural part of the rhythm of life. Just as day turns to night and back again, so too does time flow from past to future and back again, in an eternal cycle of renewal and transformation. In this way, the concept of yin and yang offers us a deeper understanding of the nature of time. It teaches us to embrace the interconnectedness of all things, to see the beauty in opposites, and to find harmony in the dance of time. Another way to think about time is to consider it as a dance between time and space. Just as a melody requires both sound and silence, time requires both presence and absence. Imagine a dance between two partners. One partner represents time, constantly moving and changing, while the other represents space, providing the context in which time unfolds. Together, they create a beautiful and intricate dance, each dependent on the other for its existence. Space is not simply an empty void, but rather the container in which time unfolds. Without space, time would have no context in which to exist. They are two aspects of the same reality, constantly dancing and intertwining. Think of a painting. The painting exists in space, occupying a certain area on a canvas. But it also exists in time, capturing a moment in the artist's creative process. Without both space and time, the painting would not exist as we know it. This perspective invites us to see time and space not as separate entities, but as interconnected aspects of the same reality. Just as the dance of a flame depends on both heat and oxygen, so too does the dance of time depend on both time and space. The concept of the dance of time and space offers us a deeper understanding of the nature of reality. It teaches us to see the beauty in the interplay of opposites, to appreciate the complexity of existence, and to find meaning in the ever-changing dance of life. Perhaps the most profound insight into the nature of time is the concept of the eternal now. This is the idea that past, present, and future are all contained within the present moment. When we think about time, we often divide it into past, present, and future. We remember the past, experience the present, and anticipate the future. But what if all moments are equally real and equally valid? What if the past is not truly past and the future has not yet come? In the Eastern tradition, there is a concept known as the eternal now. This is the idea that all moments are contained within the present moment. The past exists in our memories, which are constantly being reshaped and reinterpreted. The future exists in our imaginations, which are constantly creating projections based on our current beliefs, desires, and expectations. From this perspective, the present moment is all that truly exists. It is the point of power where we can make new choices and create a new reality. The past is not fixed and unchangeable. and the future is not predetermined. Every moment is an opportunity to start anew, to let go of regrets and anxieties, and to embrace the infinite possibilities of the present moment. Imagine a flower blooming. From bud to blossom, each stage of the flower's growth is contained within the present moment. The past stages have not disappeared, nor have the future stages yet unfolded. The flower is simply being in a state of constant transformation and renewal. This perspective invites us to let go of the illusion of linear time and embrace the richness of the present moment. Instead of worrying about what the future holds or regretting the past, we can focus on being fully present and engaged in the here and now. In the words of the philosopher Alan Watts, the future is a concept, it doesn't exist. There is no such thing as tomorrow. There never will be, because time is always and always now. That's one of the things we discover when we stop talking to ourselves and stop thinking. We find there is only present, only an eternal now. In the end, the nature of time remains a profound mystery. We may never fully understand its true nature, and perhaps that's okay. Maybe the beauty of time lies in its mystery, in the way it continues to surprise and confound us. When we think about time, we often try to fit it into neat, logical boxes. We want to understand it, to control it, to make sense of it. But what if time is not meant to be understood or controlled? What if it is meant to be embraced and experienced? Think of a child discovering the world for the first time. Everything is new and exciting, filled with wonder and mystery. The child does not try to analyze or categorize the world instead. They simply experience it fully, with all their senses. In the same way, perhaps we should approach time with a sense of wonder and awe. Instead of trying to dissect its mysteries, we can simply experience it, moment by moment, as it unfolds. The concept of time as a mystery invites us to let go of our need for control and certainty. It reminds us that life is full of surprises, and that's what makes it so beautiful and unpredictable. The present moment is all there is. This moment right now is the only reality. The past is a collection of memories, and the future is a realm of possibilities. Both exist in our minds, shaped by our thoughts and emotions. But the present is tangible, it is where life happens. When we truly grasp this concept, we can start to see the world differently. Instead of being trapped in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future, we can live fully in the now. This shift in perspective brings a sense of freedom and peace. We stop chasing after time and start experiencing life as it unfolds. We often think of time as this river constantly moving, never stopping. But is time flowing, or is it we who are moving? If you stand on the riverbank and watch the water flow by, you might think it's the water that's moving. But if you were a leaf floating on the river, you would feel the movement differently. In the same way, we experience time's flow because we are in it. We are like leaves floating on the river of time. However, if we could step outside of this flow and observe it, we might realize that time itself is not moving. It is our perception that creates the illusion of movement. Our preoccupation with time often leads us to chase shadows. We become so focused on achieving future goals or escaping past mistakes that we miss the beauty of the present. This constant chase creates a sense of anxiety and dissatisfaction. Think of a child chasing their shadow. No matter how fast they run, the shadow always remains just out of reach. Similarly, our pursuit of future happiness often leaves us feeling unfulfilled. True contentment comes not from reaching future milestones, but from appreciating the present moment. Many ancient cultures viewed time as cyclical rather than linear. The cycles of nature, day and night, the seasons, the phases of the moon reflect this understanding. Life itself follows a cyclical pattern: birth, growth, decay, and rebirth. This cyclical view of time can offer a different perspective on our lives. Instead of seeing time as a relentless march forward, we can see it as a series of cycles. Each moment is a part of a larger pattern connected to the moments that came before and those that will come after. This perspective can bring a sense of continuity and balance. Modern society often equates time with progress. We believe that as time passes, we should be moving forward, achieving more, and improving ourselves. But this belief can create a sense of pressure and inadequacy. Progress is not always linear. Sometimes we need to take a step back to move forward. Growth happens in cycles, with periods of rest and reflection. By embracing the cyclical nature of time, we can be kinder to ourselves and recognize that each moment has its own value. There are moments in life that feel timeless. These are the moments when we are fully present, completely immersed in the experience. It could be a moment of deep connection with a loved one, the beauty of a sunset, or the simple joy of being alive. In these timeless moments, we experience a glimpse of eternity. Time seems to stand still, and we are no longer bound by the past or the future. These moments remind us of the true nature of time, that it is not something to be measured or controlled, but something to be experienced. Life is a dance, a rhythmic flow of moments. Each moment is a step in this dance, unique and precious. When we stop trying to control time and start dancing with it, we can find joy and fulfillment. Think of a dancer moving gracefully across the floor. They are not worried about the next step or the step they just took. They are fully present in each movement, letting the music guide them. In the same way, we can move through life with grace and ease, trusting in the rhythm of time. To truly understand the nature of time, we must learn to embrace the present moment. This requires letting go of our attachments to the past and future and fully immersing ourselves in the now. Mindfulness practices can help us cultivate this awareness. By paying attention to our breath, our senses, and our surroundings, we can anchor ourselves in the present. This practice can bring a sense of calm and clarity, allowing us to experience life more fully. Presence is a gift we can offer to ourselves and others. When we are fully present with someone, we give them our undivided attention and genuine connection. This presence can deepen our relationships and create meaningful experiences. Imagine sitting with a friend, truly listening to their words and feeling their emotions. In this moment, time seems to fade away, and all that exists is the connection between you. This is the power of presence, the ability to transcend time and create a timeless bond. Time is a paradox. It is both a constant and an illusion. It is something we measure and something we experience. Understanding this paradox can help us navigate the complexities of life. On one hand, time is a practical tool that helps us organize our lives. We use clocks and calendars to plan our days and coordinate with others. On the other hand, time is a fluid and subjective experience, shaped by our perceptions and emotions. By recognizing the paradox of time, we can find a balance between using time as a tool and experiencing it as a flow. We can appreciate the practical aspects of time without becoming enslaved by it. To live in harmony with time, we must find a balance between action and stillness, doing and being. This balance allows us to move through life with intention and presence. Consider the example of a musician playing a beautiful melody. They must balance the notes with the spaces between them, the sound with the silence. In the same way, we can balance our actions with moments of stillness, creating a harmonious rhythm in our lives. The present moment holds immense power. It is the only moment we truly have, the only moment we can influence. By focusing on the now, we can make the most of our lives. When we are fully present, we can respond to life with clarity and wisdom. We can make conscious choices and take meaningful actions. This presence empowers us to live authentically and align with our true selves. Life is a journey, not a destination. It is a series of moments, each one a step along the path. By embracing the journey and being present in each moment, we can find joy and fulfillment. Think of life as a beautiful hike through nature. Each step offers new sights, signs, and experiences. The journey itself is the destination, and each moment is a precious part of the whole. Letting go of our attachment to time can bring a sense of freedom. When we release the need to control time, we can flow with it and experience life more fully. This letting go does not mean abandoning our responsibilities or goals. It means embracing the present moment and trusting in the natural flow of life. It means recognizing that time is not our enemy, but our ally. The dance of time is also the dance of eternity. In each moment, we have the opportunity to connect with the timeless essence of life. This connection brings a sense of peace and joy. Imagine a dancer moving effortlessly across the stage, fully immersed in the music. They are not bound by time, but flow with it, creating a beautiful expression of life. In the same way, we can dance with time, creating a harmonious and fulfilling life. Being present is an art. It requires practice, patience, and awareness. But the rewards are immense. When we are present, we can experience the fullness of life and connect with our true selves. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and mindful breathing, can help us cultivate this presence. By taking time each day to be still and present, we can develop a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. Time holds wisdom. By being present, we can tap into this wisdom and find guidance for our lives. This wisdom is not found in books or external sources, but in the depths of our own being. When we are present, we can listen to our inner voice and intuition. This inner guidance can help us navigate the complexities of life and make wise choices. The wisdom of time is always available to us if we can be present and listen. Presence is a gift we can offer to ourselves and others. When we are fully present with someone, we give them our undivided attention and genuine connection. This presence can deepen our relationships and create meaningful experiences. Imagine sitting with a friend, truly listening to their words and feeling their emotions. In this moment, time seems to fade away, and all that exists is the connection between you. This is the power of presence, the ability to transcend time and create a timeless bond. The essence of life is found in the present moment. When we are fully present, we can experience the true essence of life, the beauty, the joy, and the wonder. This essence is not found in the past or the future, but in the now. By being present, we can connect with the essence of life and experience its richness. The present moment is the gateway to the essence of life. Simplicity is beautiful. When we simplify our lives and focus on the present moment, we can find beauty in the simplest things. This simplicity brings a sense of peace and clarity, a theme that reverberates throughout the universe. Just as we observe the cycles of day and night, the changing of seasons, and the orbits of planets, time itself is not a linear progression, but a series of recurring patterns. Consider the cycles of life, birth, growth, decay, and death. These cycles are not merely confined to biological entities, but extend to the cosmos, where stars are born, live out their lives, and eventually explode, seeding the universe with the building blocks for new stars. This cyclical pattern reflects a deeper truth about the nature of time. It is not a straight line leading from the past through the present and into the future. Instead, it is a series of interconnected loops, each one a continuation of the previous cycle. Our lives too follow this cyclical nature. We experience moments of joy and sorrow, success and failure, all of which are part of the endless dance of existence. When we think about time, we often divide it into the past, present, and future. Yet, these divisions are merely mental constructs. The past is nothing more than a collection of memories, the future a projection of our hopes and fears. The only reality is the present moment, the eternal now. We reminisce about the past and anticipate the future, often at the expense of experiencing the present. This incessant mental activity creates the illusion of a linear timeline, trapping us in a perpetual cycle of regret and anxiety. But what if we could transcend this illusion? What if we could fully immerse ourselves in the present moment, free from the burdens of the past and the uncertainties of the future? In doing so, we would discover that time, as we perceive it, is an illusion. The present moment is all there ever is, and it is within this moment that we find true freedom and clarity. We must embrace the concept of the eternal now. Imagine for a moment that you are standing on the shore, watching the waves crash against the rocks. Each wave is unique, yet they are all part of the same ocean. In the same way, each moment of our lives is unique, yet they are all part of the same continuum of the present moment. It is dynamic and ever-changing. It is within this flow of the present moment that we find the true essence of time. When we let go of our attachment to the past and our expectations for the future, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of the present. We become fully alive, fully aware, and fully present. This state of presence is often referred to as mindfulness, a practice that allows us to cultivate a deep sense of awareness and acceptance of the present moment. Through mindfulness, we can transcend the illusion of time and experience the richness and fullness of life as it unfolds before us. It is a harmonious interplay of energies, each one contributing to the unfolding of the whole. When we observe the cycles of nature, we see a reflection of the cycles within ourselves. Our thoughts, emotions, and actions are all part of this intricate dance, each one influencing and shaping our experience of reality. To truly appreciate the dance of existence, we must learn to move with the rhythm of life. This means embracing change, letting go of resistance, and flowing with the natural currents of time. When we do so, we align ourselves with the greater cosmic dance and discover a sense of harmony and balance within ourselves. One of the greatest sources of suffering in our lives is our attachment to the illusion of permanence. We cling to the idea that things should remain the same, that we should hold on to what we have and avoid change at all costs. Yet, the very nature of existence is impermanence. Everything is in a constant state of flux, and nothing remains the same forever. When we resist change, we create suffering for ourselves. We become attached to the past, fearing the unknown future, and lose sight of the present moment. But when we embrace the impermanence of life, we find freedom and liberation. We learn to appreciate the beauty of each moment, knowing that it is fleeting and precious. This acceptance of impermanence is not about resignation or passivity. It is about recognizing the transient nature of all things and finding peace within that recognition. When we let go of our attachment to permanence, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of the present moment and discover a deeper sense of joy and fulfillment. We must also consider the interconnectedness of all things. Time is not an isolated phenomenon, it is intricately woven into the fabric of existence. Just as the cycles of nature are interconnected, so too are our lives interwoven with the lives of others and the world around us. This interconnectedness is a reminder that we are not separate from the universe, but an integral part of it. Our actions, thoughts, and emotions ripple outwards, influencing and shaping the world in ways we may never fully understand. When we recognize this interconnectedness, we develop a sense of responsibility and compassion for all beings. The understanding of our interconnectedness also reveals the illusion of separateness. We are not isolated entities moving through time, we are part of a greater whole, a vast web of existence. When we embrace this understanding, we dissolve the boundaries that separate us and experience a profound sense of unity and oneness. The timeless self is not bound by the constraints of time. It exists beyond the past, present, and future in a state of pure awareness. When we connect with this deeper aspect of ourselves, we transcend the illusion of time and experience a profound sense of peace and clarity. Connecting with the timeless self requires a shift in perspective. It involves letting go of our identification with the transient aspects of our existence and recognizing the unchanging core of our being. This shift can be facilitated through practices such as meditation, self-inquiry, and mindfulness. We discover that we are not victims of time, but co-creators of our reality. We gain the ability to navigate the flow of time with grace and wisdom, and we find a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. Our journey through the nature of time would be incomplete without acknowledging the eternal dance of creation. Time is the canvas upon which the universe paints its masterpiece, a continuous process of creation, destruction, and rebirth. This dance is not a linear progression, but a cyclical pattern of growth and transformation. Each moment is an opportunity for creation, a chance to bring forth something new and beautiful into existence. When we embrace this creative potential, we become active participants in the unfolding of the universe. The act of creation is not limited to the realm of art or innovation. It extends to every aspect of our lives. We create through our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Each moment is an invitation to express our true essence and contribute to the greater tapestry of existence. When we engage in the dance of creation with awareness and intention, we align ourselves with the natural flow of time. We become co-creators with the universe, harmonizing our individual expression with the greater cosmic symphony. We must consider the role of memory and imagination. Memory is the thread that weaves the tapestry of our past, while imagination is the beacon that guides us into the future. Memory allows us to recall and learn from our past experiences, but it can also become a source of attachment and limitation. When we cling to memories, we anchor ourselves in the past and prevent ourselves from fully experiencing the present moment. Imagination, on the other hand, is the tool through which we envision and create our future. It is the source of our dreams and aspirations, the spark that ignites the fire of our creativity. Yet, when we become too focused on the future, we lose touch with the present and fall into the trap of endless anticipation. The key to navigating the flow of time lies in finding a balance between memory and imagination. We must honor our past and learn from it, while also allowing ourselves to dream and create our future. But most importantly, we must cultivate the ability to be fully present in each moment, for it is within the present that the true essence of time is revealed. Let us acknowledge the profound mystery of time. Despite our efforts to understand and conceptualize it, time remains one of the greatest enigmas of our existence. It is a force that shapes our lives, yet it eludes our grasp and defies our understanding. This mystery invites us to approach time with a sense of wonder and humility. Instead of trying to control or conquer time, we can learn to dance with it, to flow with its rhythms and embrace its cycles. In doing so, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of the present moment and discover the timeless nature of our true being.